for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kusa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regret, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Sunday Vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay? Don't forget to like and share. Now, with that all being said, let's see who all is in here. All right, hello, Nessa G. Panther Strike is in the house. Latasha. All right, Fusion X2 is here. All right, let's get into it. Everybody hit that like button. Didi in Dallas is here. Troy. All right, Vince I am all the way from the UK. Deronda. All right. So with that all being said, hey, Andrew from Australia. All right, so with that all being said, Easy's in the house. Shout out to my moderators for putting in work. And shout out to all of my loyal Rose and everyone tuning into the Queen. I see you, Carly. Anita Harrell is in the house. Okay, so let's get right into it. Now, before we do, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
You can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also purchase it at Walmart.com. Okay, so give me just a second. I forgot to post this. I forgot to post the live link to Twitter. I think I even forgot to send it to you all in your emails. Oops. Okay, almost done, beloveds. Okay, so now listen, with that all being said, there is more information that has come out about the Frost situation. And I find it all interesting because now the police are being pretty tight-lipped about all of this. And so all the information we've been getting has basically been coming from the people or the family members of those who were actually involved. And some narratives have been painted, supposedly, specifically by the family of, oh my God, what is this? Ooh, honey, y'all have to see this. Somebody's This little boy has a black eye. Who did this? Okay, let me share this real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to show you all this in a minute. I don't know what's going on here, but this little boy has a black eye. Who did this? It's all crazy. Okay, so with that all been said, everybody hit the likes up. Thank you. Okay, so now that I shared that. Okay, so let's get into it. So like I was saying, guys, most of the information we have been getting from about the Kirk Frost and Rashida Frost's daughter situation and T Hood has been coming from people that are related to the family or the people involved or friends of them. So now it has come out, and they're now saying that that entire narrative about, Kai shooting T Hood and then fleeing, going into hiding, Rashida and Kirk picking him up from around the corner. Now, if you all remember the first day that I talked about that, I said, first of all, even if Rashida and Kirk did, in fact, pick their sons up around the corner, how would anybody know that? Like, where would that come from? So the family of T Hood was absolutely, or has been, painting narratives, in my opinion. So now it's supposedly, now this is all alleged, because again, the police have not confirmed much of what's being said. But now they're saying that in fact, Kelsey's brother, Kai, was there at the residence. Okay, and that he was in his apartment, and that T Hood was outside or whatever, putting hands on Kelsey, or there was an altercation or whatever, and he heard Kelsey screaming, heard her voice or whatever, and ran outside. Now they say that T Hood had a gun. Now again, I can't substantiate any of this. This is just what the streets are saying. So they're saying that T Hood had a gun and actually pulled his gun on Kai first. Okay, so is that why the police are investigating for self-defense claims? Likely so. And also, they said that's when Kai supposedly shot him. Now, they have reported, the police that is, that Kai is the top suspect. Okay, so, and remember, they did talk to someone at the scene whom I believe was Kai, because we saw the video. You couldn't really see who the person was because you saw the back of them, but we heard them talking to someone. Okay, so that whole thing about him fleeing and going into hiding clearly was not true. Okay, and if this is the case, that definitely sounds like self-defense. Now, what they have been saying, T Hood's family allegedly has been trying to say that, even though they posted video footage of T Hood attacking her, that was from months ago or some time ago. It wasn't on the same night. And so they're saying that even if he, did attack her before, this is not about that. It's about somebody being shot and killed. And so it really seems like they're not holding T Hood accountable for his own actions. And I could see where he gets it from, his mother. Okay, remember how I pointed out to you on yesterday's live how the mother, when there were the text messages that have now been leaked, where Kelsey was letting her know that your son's putting hands on me and all of that. And I need somebody. I'm going to send you all his things. I want to send it to you via an Uber. And the mother was just like, okay, like so nonchalantly. Okay, didn't really go into detail, didn't ask for details. And so it seems like they all, pretty much condoned his nefarious behavior. And the fact that he was shot twice within a 4-month span, because remember, he was shot at Glenwood Day in April for beating up Vanessa. Now, they say that he was pistol whipping her. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's what they're saying. They said he was pistol whipping her. Okay, so he got shot for that. And here's the thing, too, that there's people going in on his family and saying, y'all are making such a big deal about this. Y'all didn't really have nothing to say when he got shot in April, because y'all know he was pistol whipping Vanessa. Okay, he was pistol whipping that girl, and they didn't want that to come out, supposedly. So that's why they didn't say anything. They said, y'all didn't make any post on social media then talking about justice. But now y'all want to talk about justice. Okay, so people are coming out and saying all types of stuff. So we're going to get into it, because now Kelsey's best friend has entered the chat. Okay, and T Hood's family posted a video where they call themselves trying to expose Kelsey. But to me, it just backfired, because people are saying, including myself, that don't prove anything. All they did to me was make him look worse, not better, because it looks like to me and to other people who've been saying things about it as well, it seems It looks like to some of us that he was antagonizing her. And of course, he's not going to be doing or saying anything out of pocket or, doing anything aggressive because he's the one recording. So he's trying to make himself look good. Now, there also was a video that I'm not going to show, but I actually saw it on TikTok. A video of him sitting on the floor, T Hood that is. Kelsey's in the room with him, and he's holding some kind of blade, and he's twirling it around like this. They say that at some point he cut himself with the blade and then went and told people that Kelsey did it. So he seems to have been very manipulative, very devious, and just diabolical in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that it's good that he died, but at the end of the day, I could see why it happened. I could see why he's no longer amongst the living. Okay, at the end of the day, maybe his family should have sought some sort of mental health therapy or anger management counseling for him. Okay, with that all being said, let's get into it. I'm going to go first to the video of that T Hood's family leaked about Kelsey. Okay, because I guess they thought this was going to be a smoking gun and we're all going to be up in arms and say, oh, well, this proves it. And here's the thing, and I want you all to pay attention because they're just a bunch of liars and idiots to me. They're sitting there saying that they continue to say, we don't promote domestic violence, or we know that DV is wrong. They keep saying that. Now they're just saying that to not get ridiculed. Okay, that's what they're doing. They're saying that continuously in between everything else that they say that's negative. They keep saying we don't condone domestic violence. But everything they've done thus far and everything that they've alleged to have been done in the past all proves to me that they absolutely do condone it, did then and do now. Okay, because now they're still making excuses for his behavior and trying to blame Kelsey because her brother defended her. Okay, isn't that what he should have done? Okay, so let's get into it.
Put her on stage. How almost said the fuck you bringing her out for, bitch? Fuck you. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Dumb bitch! Oh, you're the biggest! You're the biggest, babe! Oh, you are! That's what the fuck you put on your stage? Fuck you and your stage.
So you wasn't there to support me?
No. Leave, bro! Yeah, that's what it's about. Your actions, your actions, your actions. Go up for the performance, go up for the real bitch. I'm tired of putting that bitch in my face. I'm tired. I'm so tired of you putting her in my face. Fuck you. That's who you want to share stages with. That's who's big to you. That's who got motion. That's a real bitch. Fuck Apple say. Oh, this. Go over there, nigga.
All this because I had.
Take my fucking time with you.
So you're mad because.
I'm pissed! Idiot! Get out!
You're mad because you didn't perform.
Yes! Whatever bullshit small narrative you want to fucking create it as, I don't care! Get the fuck out of my face.
Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, that literally made him look worse. Okay. He's trying to talk all calm and act like he's non-menacing and that she's being the aggressor. This further proves how calculated and methodical he was, if you ask me. Because for one, he's sitting there gathering that footage of her going off on him. He was clearly antagonizing her on purpose, okay, about some other girl. I think that's the girl, Asia, that he performs with or whatever, the one who had all this stuff to say. And she said that he told her that Kelsey was the aggressor all the time and he was simply defending himself. And I told you all then when she said that in those posts that I showed you, I said at the end of the day, that's what he told her. Of course, that's what he's going to tell people. But it just goes to show his mindset. You see, because if he was sitting there trying to gather proof or trying to make it appear as though he has proof that she's the aggressor, that just shows how deceitful he is. And what was he gathering that footage for? Because he knew there's going to come another point in time where he beats the crap out of her, and he wanted to have footage like that to show, hey, she was hitting me. She was arguing with me. She was the aggressor. That's what that was all about. So that further just shows what kind of person he was. Okay, just in my opinion. And let's not forget the fact that they said he pretty much put hands on all of the women that he dealt with. Okay, that's what that looks like. Elite says they're crazy AF to think her yelling equates to what he did. Exactly. Okay, we saw the bruises. Okay, we saw the pictures. There's one picture that I saw that was so gross. I can't even show it to you all. I cannot even show it to you all. It was so bloody and disgusting. I cannot even show it to you all. But they think that makes her look like she's anywhere near as bad as him. They also said that proves she wasn't afraid of him. That doesn't prove anything, except that he was antagonistic and clearly always being aggressive with her and starting to mess with her one way or the other. Okay? Just absolutely crazy. Yes, I absolutely think he was a narcissist. Absolutely. Okay. And his family condones his BS and they absolutely condone domestic violence. I don't care what they say. Now let's go to this video of Kelsey's best friend because she finally came out and spoke just days ago or yesterday, I think.
Be doing touching y'all nose because y'all speaking on something y'all don't even know about at all. If you genuinely cared about Kay, her well-being, just her as a person, and Hood knew that you was actually a true, genuine friend, you had to go. I'm gonna speak on this one night, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Me and Kay linked up.
Hold on, let me say this. I want to make sure you all caught what she just said. She said if you were someone who was genuinely Kelsey's friend or someone who cared about her or whatever, you had to go. Okay, you had to go. He didn't want her around those type of people. And that's what abusers do. That's what most abusers do very often. Their goal is to isolate the victim from close friends and family because they don't want the victims to have anyone to turn to while they're being abused. They don't want anyone to know what's going on between them and the victim. They don't want anyone in the victim's ear trying to talk them out of staying with that person. Okay? They're controlling, very controlling. Okay, but let's continue.
At Loud House Studio, and she was just like, "Oh, Hood's on his way. We're gonna meet him here." Then Kay had a show that night at Candyland. If you was at Candyland that night, okay. Everybody talking about like why she didn't call the cops. Why didn't y'all tell his friends, bro? Y'all don't think the cops got called? Y'all don't think his friends knew? This one night he tweaked out so bad at Candyland, his dudes came out of the club and went to him talking about some. Oh, you good, bro? He's not good. Why won't y'all get y'all mans and take him home? They sat there and laughed. They thought it was funny that he was tweaking out on 4, 5 females in the parking lot, bro. Be for real. Mind you, I told Kay before we even went into Candyland, he was tweaking out so bad. I said, "Look, Kay, I'm finna go. Cause I don't do this. I don't do this." And she know I don't do that shit. But it had been a minute since I had been with my homegirl and she had a show. So I was just like, you know what? But we ignored it. We put it to the side, went inside of Candy. The booking she had was with another dude on the song. So we all in the section or whatever. And baby boy, let me just tell you, Hood showed his behind. I mean, he showed his behind at this show. He kept sending different females to the section, trying to like start drama. So it got to the point where now I'm out of my body. Now I'm acting and showing my behind because what you're not finna do is try to get my friend jumped or touched. Not when I'm around. When he noticed that these females wasn't finna get close to my homegirl Kay that night, that's when he took it upon himself to like basically put his hands on her while we in Candyland. He's putting his hands on her. His friends didn't step in to help. They sat there and watched, like, oh, whatever. It took the dude that my homegirl had on the song with her. His people stepped in and he tried to beat them up. Like, tried. Same homeboys in the comments talking about why y'all ain't tell us, why y'all ain't tell us. It's the same homeboys that would just sit there and watch this happen. Like, I grabbed Kay by the arm, grabbed her cousin, and I dragged them up out of Candyland because we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing this. Never that. But he wanted the spotlight. He wanted the spotlight so bad. We leaving out of Candyland. T Hood's still going bizarre. So at this point, I'm just like, hey, let me grab my stuff out of your car, and I'm definitely calling me an Uber this time. Like, I'm not, no, not doing it. Tell me why. He goes to the passenger side of the car and he opens the car door and throws my designer bag, y'all. My designer bag out of the car. I mean, he throws it like a football. Purse break, everything fall out, everything just go everywhere. What is his homeboys doing? Sitting there watching. Just sitting there watching. At this point, my mouth got reckless. I don't know what was said. I don't care what was said. It got to the point where he felt the need to pull a gun out on me. T Hood pulled a gun out on me at Candyland in the parking lot. What is his homeboys doing? Nothing. Again. And then the police, APD, was already out there. So when I'm yelling like, "Oh, if you gonna pull a gun out, use it," that's when APD starts walking over to my friend's vehicle. The cops actually take him this night. Like they take him away from the car, whatever, get him away from us. So we were able to leave. He's texting my homegirl Kay like, "Oh, you really finna let me go to jail?" Da 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 da. Because we were already just finna trail her back to her crib, but she was like, "Oh, he's texting me saying like he's going to jail, so she's good." Whole time, y'all, it's a skit he's doing. T Hood never got arrested. He was never in jail that night. He actually got dropped off at Kay's residence and waited for her to get there. Y'all keep saying he lived there because he has some things there. If he lived there, why was he breaking into her crib? He broke into her crib that night. So Kay pulled up to her crib. She opens up the garage. She pulls in the garage, closes the garage, and then that's when Hood comes out of her door and starts beating on her. Me and Cece were on the phone with Kay already on three-way. All we hearing is just, y'all know what we hearing. Me and my homegirl Cece, we just got in our cars and just did the dash to Kay's house. And when me and Cece finally got there, no vehicle, window broken, garage door broken. It's just a bunch of. So the police actually had to come and take a report because of a stolen vehicle. So the cops had came to Kay's crib like 5, 6 times, like searching for him, couldn't find him. Then he finally pulls up, like once the police activity like finally died down. He pulls up and we wake up to him just standing over our bodies. I mean, just standing over our bodies type. So for the girlies that's hollering out, she should have just called the cops. The cops were called. If the cops are called and there's nobody to arrest, guess what? Then no arrest is going to be made. Stupid. Yes, he was her abuser, but y'all making it seem like y'all, it ain't like 1,000 movies out on situations like this, like where someone falls in love with their abuser. Like y'all act like that ain't real. The dude Hood was one of them people like he would beat on you, then do like he would self-inflict harm on himself, and then he would like cry about it. So like you really feel bad for him, like you're really feeling like sympathy for him, like dang, he done been through so much effed up stuff in his life, like this is why he's lashing out, this is why he's doing that. So that's why Kay was the way she was. She felt sympathy for him. She didn't want to leave him just because his flaws was showing. But that was beyond his flaws. That was him. That was him. I don't care what y'all say. That was him as a person. I spoke my truth. It is what it is. I'm speaking on what I actually know, not what y'all out here trying to make it seem like. Because the baby mama playing both sides, Vanessa, you playing both sides, his homeboys, y'all playing both sides. I said what I said, and that's that. If y'all actually cared about that man, y'all would have helped him out when y'all had the opportunity. But instead, y'all kept playing, oh, I'm scared of him. Oh, he gonna try to fight me. Look where it got him. Nobody helped. Blame yourself, not my homegirl. Keep her name out your mouths.
I'm glad she stuck up for a friend because they are out here painting narratives, the family that is. And like I said, them out here trying to blame Kelsey just further shows that they condoned his behavior. They absolutely condoned it. And here's another thing too. And again, this stuff is all hearsay, by the way, and allegations and speculation. So as I was saying, they're now saying that T Hood had a gun in his hand. They said that Kelsey was screaming. Her brother heard her screaming. He was in the apartment, in his apartment. He ran outside. And so this must be why someone asked me in the chat last night. Someone asked me in the chat, I can't remember who it was, But somebody asked me in the chat when I was talking about this yesterday, something about didn't this happen outside, or weren't there cameras outside? And I said I didn't know, but I think it happened on the inside. But now they're saying that they were outside. Kai ran outside. They say that T Hood had a gun, and he pulled his gun first, and then Kai shot him and killed him. And they say that somebody sent a text, or somebody posted. I haven't been getting all of these social media posts because there's a lot, but somebody said something like to the family, your brother died with a gun in his hand. They said that. Now that doesn't mean it's true, but I'm just telling you all that's what they're out there saying. And somebody had posted on social media saying that your brother died with a gun in his hand. So he may have had a gun, I don't know. But if he did have a gun, honey, this is self-defense as far as I'm concerned. Okay, but now I'm going to go to this post on TikTok where this young lady collected some of the social media posts. I'm gonna read them to you. I've muted the sound because she's playing music in the background. Okay. Like, so everyone, please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. All right, so the first one, this is all posted on Kelsey's X account. It says, really hate looking at scars, ill, and has a sad face. Okay, and some of those scars were absolutely awful as far as I'm concerned. Then the next one says, can't stand a ninja who always break your belongings when they are upset. Then she says, domestic violence, physical abuse will never be okay. And then she said, I don't know. I feel like giving up. This really is sad. This young lady was being tormented. Okay, she was absolutely being tormented. And I'm quite sure her family was fed up. Let me see if there's any more on here. Hold on. Okay, it's so weird when a man is jealous of a woman. It should be studied. The next one says, I definitely would rather be miserable by myself than miserable with a ninja. Okay, let me see what else is on here. I think that's it. So anyway, I'm just saying she posted these things months ago. These are old posts from her ex account. So anyway, with that all being said, now I'm going to go back to the clip for those of you who missed it. The audio that was leaked where Kelsey sounded like she was throwing her brother under the bus. Okay, when she was talking to T Hood's family. I feel like she should never have been talking to his family after that whole debacle happened, because I don't know why she thought they were actually going to have sympathy and empathy for her or even take her side. They were absolutely not going to do it.
They tried to find, I don't know, they maybe have the wrong information. They tried to find him. They sent the little SWAT team with the little shit with the big gun. They came and he was taken into handcuffs. I told you that was wrong. I don't condone that shit. I don't give a fuck whether or not. Like, I hear what y'all are saying, but y'all, like, you can't, like, I don't condone that shit. It's more to the story, so I don't know.
Well, I don't understand how they would let him out if you told them that your brother shot Tevin. They wouldn't, they supposed to have him. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna find out.
So, yeah, please do it. Like, I'm asking the same questions. What I'm saying is, like,
okay, when can we get his things, Kay?
Now she's worried about getting his things. I want you all to pay attention, because here's what I find interesting. So that sounded like the mother. That clearly sounded like a more mature adult's voice. So I would assume that was the mother, even though I don't actually know. But here's the thing. If that was the mother, it's interesting that she was asking so many questions then, because she damn sure didn't ask any questions when Kelsey was texting her after he put pause on her and destroyed her belongings. And then Kelsey just wanted him out of her house. And she was calling the mother to tell her that he put hands on her. And all she said was, oh, okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. But now you have questions. And she's talking about, I don't know what happened, but we're darn sure going to find out. You should have been trying to figure out what was happening before it got to this. And the nerve of them to try to blame this young lady. Okay, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. All right? Yes, that's right. Nessa G said the mother was very dismissive. Leon said his things, yes, his belongings. Now she wants to act like it's the belongings. Okay, so Jay Thomas says, is this Rashida's daughter or just Kirk's daughter? I don't know. She seemed like she has seen women stay through any kind of abuse, no matter what. this is sad, but why didn't her parents help her leave? Well, here's the thing. You can't make your children do anything when they're grown. I'm sure they did try to make her leave because it was reported by T Hood's baby's mom. There were some posts that were shown or exposed, and I showed those on here, where she basically, the mother of T Hood's child was basically saying that Kirk Frost said that he washed his hands of it because try though he might, basically, his daughter would not leave. So what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? And also, here's the thing too. Sometimes when people stay in a domestic violence relationship, it doesn't always have anything to do with what they saw growing up. Some people just stay because they're so in love with the person. Love is blind. Love is blind. I had a friend, okay, a very good friend when I was 23 years old. She's dead now because her ex-boyfriend, the father of her two children, killed her. Okay, now we all tried to convince her to go to the police. We all told her he's going to do something drastic. We saw it coming. And the case is currently unsealed. He didn't even go to prison. We know he did it. But the Gwinnett County Police told me that knowing someone did something and proving it's two different things. Okay? Why do people stay? Because love is blind. You see, the heart wants what the heart wants, which makes me think that the heart is actually stronger than our brains. Because if our brains were stronger, wouldn't it seem that your brain would tell you this is illogical, this person's abusive, this person is dangerous, you should run, you've seen all the red flags, how much longer are you going to wait, how much more can you take, you could end up in a grave 6 feet under. The brain is telling you that. But for some reason, your heart's not even listening because the heart wants what it wants, beloved. That's how that goes. And to your question about, is that Kirk and Rashida's daughter? No, beloved, that's Kirk's daughter. That's Kirk's daughter, not Rashida's. That's Kirk's daughter with someone else. But it is very sad. And I will tell you this, my friend, we used to see how her child's father would talk to her in such a nasty way, get upset with her for little to nothing. Okay, we were at her house one day, picking her up from work, picking her up for work, because we all worked together. And he was yelling at her while she's making him tacos before she goes to work. Got us waiting so she can make sure he's fed. But he's sitting there cursing out, belittling her, talking crazy, right in front of us. Didn't care if he was embarrassing her. And then it finally got to a point where she left and she went to move in with her uncle in Snellville. She ends up getting with somebody else months down the line. Now, mind you, this whole time he's been stalking her, harassing and all of that, coming up to the job and all this. But so that's why she ended up moving out of her apartment to go stay with her uncle. Unfortunately, he had been to that uncle's house, so he knew the layout of the house. So one night, we all went to see her perform. My friend had just signed a record deal with Universal. Okay, her and another young lady, they were rappers. But long story short, she's performing one night, and we're all sitting there watching. He comes in with a girl who looks very similar to my friend. My friend was biracial. She was half black and half Mexican. So he comes in there with some other biracial girl, sits right behind her and her new boyfriend. And then my friend pulls out a Black and Mild to smoke before her performance. And her new man goes to light it. But before he can light it, her baby's father jumps up and says, "Oh, God, I got it." And then gets disrespectful with the dude. They get into a fight. He gets his behind beat by the new man. And then they clown him. The MC on the mic clowns him and says to the bouncers, "Get him out of here." And he's like, somebody stick a fork in that ninja because he's done. So everybody's laughing. So then he's getting escorted out. And he's like, "Y'all throwing me out." And he hit me, but you hit him first. You tried to hit him with a body. So with that all being said, after that, I guess he was so upset and humiliated, his ego bruised. So he drives to her uncle's house. The new boyfriend, and the new boyfriend had an infant that he would keep on the weekends. The infant was only 5 months old, and he basically sprays the house. He goes to the bedroom where he knows she's sleeping. Mind you, his kids are in there too, because she's got 2 kids with him. They're in another room. So I think he knew they were in another room because clearly he knew what room she would be sleeping in at that house. I don't know how he knew that. He'd been to the house before. We later found out. But nonetheless, he goes to the bedroom window where she's at and sprays it. Okay, like 25 shots fired. She takes 2 bullets to the chest. The little baby is shot 3 times in the chest. The boyfriend's laying on his stomach. He's shot in the back a couple of times. He survives. The baby and my friend die. Okay? This is the same friend that just days before she comes to work. She walks into the building, comes into the break room, and her nose is bloody. And I said, girl, what happened to your nose? And she's like crying and saying that her child's father was out in the parking lot waiting on her when she got there. He's been all nice and sweet, bought flowers, and says, oh, just get in the car. I just want to talk to you for a minute. Just let me talk to you. So she gets in the car with him, and then he starts going off, locks the doors, talking crazy. And now she sees where this is going, so she tries to get out. So he starts punching her. And then he grabs her cell phone and throws it out the car. So she can't call anybody for help. She finally gets out of the car and runs into the building. Now, mind you, while she's telling us all this, I'm like, we need to call the police right now. And then one of our other friends was like, no, I'm calling my husband and his friends so they can deal with him. And I was like, we need to call the police. And she's like, no, I can't have him arrested. That's my children's father. And I said, girl, you crazy? So next thing you know, the phone rings at her desk. I answered the phone because she's still shaking up and crying. I answered the phone. I'm like, hello? He says, yeah. He said, tell that B that I'm going to kill her. He said, the show ain't over till the fat lady sings. And I will see her dead before I see her with somebody else. That's what he said. That's what he said. And when I hung up that phone, I said, girl, if you don't call the police, he just threatened to kill you. And she said, he's just talking. He's just talking. We literally could not talk sense into her. And then 2 days later, she's dead. So that's how that goes. The heart wants what the heart wants. And sometimes people feel like they're obligated to the person. They feel like, I can't do this because this is the father of my children. I don't want to see him behind bars. But if you don't see him behind bars, your children might have to see you being put in a grave. Okay, so that's how that goes. There's no rhyme or reason as to why people stay in these abusive relationships, but sometimes people just do. Okay, sometimes people just do. And it's very sad. At the end of the day, I'll say this. If T Hood wasn't dead right now, I'm pretty sure that eventually he would likely have killed Kelsey. Okay, I believe that he would eventually kill her. Pulling guns on women, pistol whipping a woman, choking her, jumping on her while she's in the bed asleep out of the blue. He was a whole psychopath, okay, or a sociopath, shall I say. That's what he was. Not to mention he was addicted to illegal substances. He was dangerous. Troy said Stockholm Syndrome. Yes, and sometimes it's just love. Foolish love. Okay. So anyway, honey, this is all a sad, sordid tale. Like my, condolences to T Hood's family, but they need to stop. They need to stop. They're so mad and upset right now, but they're upset and mad at the wrong person. You see, this is nothing, in my opinion, but projection. Because the real people that they should be mad at are themselves. Okay, because they did nothing. How many times has that girl called his mother and told her, your son put hands on me? That wasn't the first time. And we know it wasn't the first time because the sister said in one of the posts that I showed you, she literally said to Kelsey, well, we told you, we don't condone DV. That's why we told you, call us anytime you need to call. And when she called you, what did y'all do to stop it? You didn't do a damn thing to stop it because it continued. It continued and it continued. She had cameras in the house. And another thing too, they were trying to be so slick yesterday when I did the video where I showed you how they kept saying, produce the video. You got video surveillance in your bedroom. We know you got it outside. We know you got it all over the house. Show us what happened on the day he died. They know darn well she doesn't have the video footage because she already had said previously that he ripped the cameras out of the wall. So where's the evidence? He ripped the cameras out of the wall. Okay, and they know it. So now they're trying to make it look like, oh, if it wasn't her brother's fault, or if she didn't do anything, if she wasn't involved, or it wasn't a setup, why won't she produce the footage? Because she doesn't have any damn footage. Because her brother was a whole fool. Okay, he was a whole fool. All right, at the end of the day, and I know people say don't disrespect the dead, but I don't believe in that. If the dead were disrespectful when they were here, I don't see any reason that we need to respect them. People say don't talk ill of the dead. Well, here's the thing. However you were in life, I don't think people should try to tell lies and try to paint you as anything better than what you were just because you're dead. Okay, if you were a monster, that's just what you were. And when you're dead, you still were that. Okay, as far as I'm concerned. Now, with that all being said, moving right along, because when I tell you all, there is a daycare that is under fire because a little child who was only 3 years old, a little boy, a little male child, came home with pink polish on his nails. And his parents did not authorize this. Okay, that's what they didn't do. Now, how mad would you be? How mad would you be? Comes home with pink nail polish on. First of all, not only should they not have polished his nails, they should not be putting any type of cosmetic items such as lipstick, makeup, nail polish, any of that on any of those children at a darn daycare. What are they even doing with nail polish there anyway? Okay? What are they even doing with polish there anyway? They shouldn't even be polishing the girls' nails unless the parents gave them permission. But let's get into it because I found this to be all interesting. And then the people that own the daycare had the nerve to try to get an attitude. Okay, so let's talk about it. Like some everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to go to a myriad of TikToks, and this one, no, I'm gonna go to this one last. This, even I have a TikTok of the owner and the manager sitting there trying to plead their little sad story. Okay, I don't even want to hear it. They had no business doing that. Okay, here we go. I think this is the first one. I tried to put these up here. Okay. Yeah, this is part one. Now, mind you, the little boy that this happened to, his grandmother came to the daycare to talk to them about what happened.
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Madison.
Madison. Can I talk to your director, please?
Yes, she's in the restroom and she'll be right out.
Thank you. Hello. Are you the director?
Yes.
I'll wait till you get off the phone.
Okay, I'm talking to the owner.
Okay. Do you want to put her on speaker?
Yes. Okay, Shelly, I'm gonna put you on speaker, okay?
Okay, so what's your name? You're the director.
Jessica.
You're Jessica, and Shelly is the owner.
Yes.
Okay. Shelly, my name is Misty Hernandez, and I'm the grandmother of CJ and Briella Bryant. And my daughter brings her children here, and we have zero consent on file for your staff to paint our grandson's nails pink. I think that's not good. I think that's caused confusion for kids. I don't care what parent allows you to do that. And I'm still talking. I'm still talking. I'm still talking. No, I can't because you're interrupting me and I'm talking.
I am just finding out about this and I am not happy about it. I don't need you to give me a lecture. I'm going to lecture my staff.
Yeah, because honestly, that's against the law. That is confusion of a child. You do not have any consent form on file to paint his nails. And if I were you, I would stop yelling at me because your facility is in very big trouble for this.
No, we are not in big trouble.
You do not have consent from my daughter to paint his.
You are welcome to bring that child back in and we can take the nail polish off.
I'm definitely going to do that. I'm also going to record that because you do not have consent to paint his nails. Your staff is crazy for thinking they can paint a little boy's nails without consent of a mother.
You do not need to yell at me.
You're yelling at me and you're also cutting me off.
You are coming in and attacking everyone. It is a small child. It is color on his fingernails. And I just said to Jessica, it's not like they did pink, right? And she told me yes.
It doesn't matter if they did pink or green. You don't have consent to do either color to him. This parent cares, and you have to have a consent in the state of Texas. You just assaulted me by saying that word, and you are being recorded. You are being recorded. Are you neglecting to take care of this? Because I'm trying to talk to you. First of all, let me tell you this. I wouldn't have to come in and talk to you If your staff would not paint my grandson's nails pink.
You were not even asking what happened and how.
I don't give a damn what happened.
I do.
First of all, why does she have an attitude? Because that woman is upset. She has a right to be upset. And then the way she's speaking to her is very unprofessional. Let me tell you something, baby. They would have a whole lawsuit on their hands, okay? They would have a whole lawsuit on their hands, honey. I would take my 3-year-old to a counselor, okay, to a psychiatrist. Okay, he now has, some sort of PTSD. Okay, he's traumatized. He's confused. It's not illegal, like she said, but I would damn sure be filing a complaint. Okay, I would be filing a complaint. And I would be suing them for negligence. Okay, at the end of the day, they had no business doing that. And she's saying, "Oh, it's just nail polish. Act like it's no big deal." Some parents don't mind. Well, she's not some parents, apparently. And the key word that she said is some. Okay. So, honey, she would have had me effed up. Baby, when I tell you that could not be me, because this lady is being very nice, considering somebody like me, if that had been my son. Because, baby, when I tell you, it would have been some smoke in the city. But let's continue.
You are not welcome in this center, and I'm gonna call the police if you.
I'm going to call the police right now and file a report here because you did that without consent.
I will happily call licensing and email them and report that this child his nails were painted because that was the activity that we did, and the staff made him.
Everybody painted their nails. My granddaughter's nails aren't painted.
No, not everybody, but it was an activity that was going on.
Now, you see how she tried to flip the script? She said her granddaughter's nails were not painted. So you know why they did that. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. If you didn't paint the granddaughter's nails, why in the hell they paint his? Oh, Lord have mercy. It would have taken everything in me, okay, not to go upside somebody's head. But anyway, with that all being said, D. Major Skellin said, even if it was a girl, that would be unacceptable. Exactly. Okay, absolutely. Thank you, beloved, for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Ooh, honey, this is getting me heated.
I'm trying to get information about this, but I cannot have anyone coming in. What you're doing right now is harassing me and my.
No, you're cussing at me, and I have that recorded. You called me an asshole. That's recorded. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm talking to, and you're yelling, and you're a business owner? You're a business owner.
Baby, when I tell you, she's sitting up there trying to act as though she's attacking them. Okay, now you're the victim, ma'am. Sit your ass down somewhere, honey. I absolutely cannot. Okay, I absolutely cannot. Now, with that all being said, let's go to the next clip. When I tell you, some of these people, it's the audacity of it to me. It's the audacity. Something like this is an activity for the day. So, do you all remember that video that I did a few years ago where the little black child was about 4 and he was in day school, or like maybe he was in school or whatever? But do you all remember they put a dress on him and his father came to pick him up early and saw him with a ballerina dress? Baby, these people are crazy, okay? That's what you're not going to do, honey. Not with mine. I would have, boy, let me tell you something. It would be so ugly. Okay, let's continue.
Jessica, and what's your last name?
San Diego. They said no, they're not here yet.
So I have a question. Do y'all always paint little boys' hands, or is he the first one?
No, everyone that wanted to participate today was in there.
And were there other boys that got their hands
Yeah,
painted?
there was several.
And y'all got consent from their parents too?
Some of them they did. I think that's the thing that I was telling them on the phone, that my policy is that they have to ask. They have to ask
Right.
if it's a boy, because I know there is some parents, like, for instance, my husband does, I paint my son's nails sometimes and he gets pissed because he doesn't like that.
It's
He's like, "No."
confusion.
But
Okay, listen, you guys. Here's what I think I did. I think I played these out of order. I think the shouting match that we just heard was after this one. So sorry, I got the videos mixed up, the order of the videos mixed up. But let's continue.
there are some parents that are like, I don't care. But that's why we were trying to tell them that I wanted to tell the staff so I could write her up, because like I said, they all know that the rule is if a little boy wants their nails painted, they need to call their parents and ask them, hey, can we paint their nails?
Absolutely.
That is.
And we didn't receive one phone call because I asked him, since you
that's what she's saying. They
That's
didn't
what
call.
I'm saying, that they didn't call, and I didn't know that. I didn't even know his nails were painted until you guys called. And the only reason why I know that a couple of other boys' nails were painted is because one kid was up here when I walked in, and his nails were painted, and he was showing his dad, and in my head, I was like, oh, I guess they did nail polish today, so that means everybody was called. And I didn't even think to ask that dad, oh, were you called, because he was fine. He was like, oh, yeah, that's cute, whatever. And then until she called, I didn't know. And then
What dad said that was cute?
Some little.
Oh, not.
Yeah. No, some other one, and I didn't know, and so I didn't even notice that Corey's.
Okay, I don't believe her. What father walked in there and saw his son with pink painted on nails and said, oh, that's cute? Girl, bye. Y'all believe that? Y'all believe that? That's cute. You come to the daycare and your son has his nails painted pink and the dad said that's cute. Yeah, I don't believe her. Okay, stop the cap, lady. Stop the freaking cap. She's just trying to do that to explain it away, to make it seem as though it's okay. You know, even the father didn't get mad, and he's a man. Even one boy's father wasn't. No, sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere. Okay.
That's why I just feel like how like you can tell if a little boy is feminine. So I make sure that Corey, CJ is as boys as you can get.
Right,
He's always talking about basketball. You guys know.
Okay, first of all, now the grandmother sounds crazy. Talk about you can tell when boys are feminine. At the age of 3, ma'am, no, you can't. Okay, and even if they did think that any of those children were feminine, at the end of the day, they still shouldn't be doing anything without the parents' permission. So crazy.
But it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't. It's just like he didn't come dressed or anything.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Not that matters, but like
Right,
you're not even painting them green, black. It's something y'all painted them pink.
No,
If-
but that
if
doesn't
wrong
even
is-
matter.
No, I know. I'm saying a wrong is a wrong. I'm just saying, like, really, like that's ridiculous.
No, they're not supposed to do things like that without consent. This state of
And even
Texas
the
is
little tattoos,
extremely.
like, I don't like that. Like they're how old? 2 and 3. They can't even spell tattoo yet.
Well,
Like-
again, not only that, he's 3 years old. Like they didn't have consent, and in the state of Texas, it is a conservative state. You're not supposed to confuse children. And to me, a facility like this should know that. Obviously, you do if you're having them call, and they didn't. So somewhere along the line, the ball's being dropped where these people don't think they have to consult with the parent.
That's a lie too. They're not calling any of these parents. Okay, they are not calling any of these parents. Okay, and I guarantee you that the little boys they did this to all have a lot of melanin. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet that the little boys that got the pink painted fingernails are all heavily drenched in melanin? That little boy clearly looks biracial. Okay, how much you want to bet? She's lying. Talk about they call the parents. I'm sorry, make it all make sense. What happened to them using finger paints? Yikes. Why weren't they using finger paints and crayons? What are you doing painting nails at a daycare? Make it make sense. Okay? See, I don't like stuff like this. I don't like stuff like this. First of all, if children want to be LGBTQ, that's their choice. Let them decide. Don't try to encourage them. Don't try to lead them in that direction. Don't try to put the idea in their head. Let them come up with it on their own naturally. Don't try to influence people's children. Sit down somewhere. These people are just a hot mess, okay?
And that's what bothers me, because if he knew in his right mind, let's even say 10, and it's wrong then too. He is 3 years old. You're confusing the kid. We already have enough of that going on without people helping it. You know, you're promoting it. That is uncalled for. And it is actually inhumane in my opinion, because it was not addressed with the parent. If you would have called her and she said yes, it's one thing, I would have still probably got, if she's grown, but I would have probably got on her ass being my daughter, because that's not right. You don't do that to a child and confuse them like that. It's insane. It's crazy. And I think that y'all as a facility, because they won't be back here, but as a facility, y'all need to consult with parents. Not only that, y'all need to give your staff training, because obviously they don't have it. They do not have it. And I don't know what needs to be done or what's going to take place. I guess we'll be learning the laws of this stuff, because I don't like it at all. And it will not happen again. I don't care if I have to stand out here and boycott every Saturday or Monday through whatever. I will stand out here and put a sign stating that they
And
confuse
even-
children.
Yeah, even yesterday, my son, I was taking him a bath, and like I said, he has a sister, yes, but he knows his boy toys and what he can play with. And he's telling me in the bath, Mommy, I only play with girls at school. They told me only girls.
Well, I did ask about that too after we hung up, and the staff said that.
Lady, sit your lying self down somewhere. This is all a hot old mess. What y'all think about it, though? What do y'all think about it? Vince Aaron from the UK said, not for 1 second. Karen can shove that lie where the sun, moon, and stars never shine. Okay, this is all a hot mess. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, Miss AB said people going to learn. All right. Sosa said, Grandma, stop talking and take action. Honey, she was having too much conversation with them, baby. I wouldn't have even had to take that long a time to get my point across. Okay? Because by the time I came in there and just went in on them, they wouldn't have been able to get a word in edgewise. That's for number one, because you don't need to say anything to me. I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't have any questions, but I'm letting you know right now, don't ever try it, okay? Don't ever try it. As a matter of fact, you won't have to because he won't be back. Honey, I would have gone all in on them. And here's the thing. The grandmother, Miss Haya said, thank you, Queen, as I was tired of the male splaining. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, the lady was trying to justify the BS, okay? And in the video where they were shouting or whatever, she's trying to justify it. No, you can't justify that. My thing is, why are y'all even applying any sort of cosmetics to anybody's children, girls or boys? What's the point? Aren't they supposed to be trying to learn their ABCs, maybe? Okay, doing some finger paints and coloring books and stuff like that. Okay, playing with toys, maybe. Okay, make it all make sense. It's all crazy. But let's see what some people had to say about it, honey. Well, first of all, let's see what they had to say about it. Now, when you see these two, that the owner of the daycare, the manager, it's going to tell you everything you need to know. What I was also going to say is that the grandmother, she sounded very young, like she sounded young to be a grandmother. And I wonder why she came rather than her daughter. Maybe she had to work or whatever. But the daughter's probably like 19 or 20 from the sounds of the grandmother. Okay. And so I guess the grandmother was the best one, more suited for the job at the end of the day. But honey, she should have gone in just a little bit harder as far as I'm concerned. Now, here they come online playing a victim and trying to do damage control, but it all backfired because I read the comments. Yeah, it all backfired. People were not here for it. Okay, people were not here for it. They let them have it, as they should.
Shelly, and this is Jessica, the director at Adventure Kids, where we've had a serious problem with a kid that went home with his nails painted. And there was a lot that was left out of the video before me, the owner, was pushed to a point of feeling like my staff was in danger, being an hour away. They were being basically harassed by the grandmother who was not on the account. And
this is the typical Karen trick. She was concerned about her employees and she was an hour away. If you were right there, what the hell were you going to do if there was some real danger besides nothing? You couldn't have done any more than they could have done, which would have been called 911. Okay, please sit down somewhere, okay, with that ugly blonde wig on, because I know that better not be her hair. But then she said they were being harassed. Ha! They were being harassed. No, her grandson was harassed. Oh, what are you talking about? They were being harassed.
what led up to this is when Jessica dealt with the parents when they were leaving.
So the parents, the dad picked up, he left, and then a few minutes later, I would say 5 to 7 minutes later, he calls. I answer the phone and he's immediately yelling, not asking a question. He's yelling, saying, what the hell kind of place is this? What kind of people do you have working there? Y'all painted my son's nails. He's only 3 years old, and just going on and on.
And it wasn't their first visit. They've been here numerous times. We're giving them huge discounts to help this family out.
And so
what the hell is them giving them discounts to help the family out have to do, bitch? So because you gave them discounts, if you actually even did, so that gives you the wherewithal to paint their son's nails pink at that? Like, girl, get out of here. You think this is helping your case? Ooh, baby, I'm gonna call this daycare. I promise y'all that. I'm gonna call this daycare, and I might do it on live just to give them a piece of my mind. I am livid. But let's continue.
So I immediately apologize. I tell them that I'm sorry. I let them know what our policy is, that we do call parents of boys and ask them, hey, is it okay if they get their nails done? Some parents are like, yes, absolutely. Some are like, no. We respect what the parents' wishes are. Even if the kid is crying, throwing a fit, they're wanting their nails painted, we still tell them no. Fortunately, we had a staff member that just completely forgot to call, or for whatever reason, just slipped by her.
She said the kid was super excited and she was just trying to make all the kids happy.
Yes.
I personally understand it's a problem. I wouldn't want my kids' nails painted, and I was going to reprimand the staff, but
I also let him know that I would write up the staff that that was unacceptable, and that I did understand their concerns. He continued to yell at me, and then the mom starts talking, and then I know you see in her TikToks that the mom was at work, but the mom was not at work. The mom was in the car with the dad, also yelling at me, also making rude comments towards my staff, saying that.
So what? Okay. How does she know they were in the car? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they said what they said. Okay. D. Major Kelly said, this is a health issue too. Nail polish is toxic. Exactly. What if the little boy had some type of allergic reaction? Okay. He could have had some type of allergic reaction or anything. And thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. They're sitting up here trying to make it all make sense, and they can't.
We have a male here that's probably gay, and that's why her son's nails got painted. And I just kept apologizing, staying calmly, letting her know that it was going to be taken care of immediately. I did not say I would call her later or tomorrow. They continued to yell at me, and then hung up on me. So when they hung up on me, I immediately called one of my other staffs to make sure, so I could know who did it. Hung up, called the owner right away because I knew it was a serious matter
she
that
was
needed
just
to
telling
be.
me the information as the grandmother walked in.
I was literally on the phone letting her know what happened, letting her know that I was mad, that I was angry, I was upset with that staff member. I was letting her know that I was going to write her up. And I was also letting her know if she could call the parents and also apologize on the owner's behalf. So I did let the owner know because I wanted, the parents to know that I did take it as a serious matter. I was not dismissing their feelings or what they want for their child or don't want for their child. And so as I was explaining to the owner, I'm writing up the staff, I was letting her know, but I also was crying and shaky because I did get upset as the dad was yelling at me, being very hostile and aggressive when all.
Girl, nobody cares. I promise you, nobody gives a damn, okay? That you were crying and shaking. Yeah, of course you were, because now you want to play the perpetual victim, and nobody cares, okay? Talking about the dad was being hostile and aggressive. Well, here's the thing. How hostile and aggressive could he really have been? Okay? Did he put paws on you? Did he make threats? No, he didn't. So sit down somewhere, honey, trying to sit up here and mayo explain. That's exactly what she's doing.
All I was doing was trying to fix the situation immediately. And so she, of course, got upset that I was upset, but she was also upset at the staff that did that. She was asking me, making sure that I did have that policy in place and that I was making sure that all the staff knew that. I let her know that I did. As that was happening, she was angry again at the staff. She wanted to call the parents, make things right, and then call the staff member to let them know that was not okay.
They wanted the video. They wanted us arrested.
They were asking on the phone again. The dad was saying he wanted us arrested. They wanted the video. Well, then the grandma comes in, and I know you guys do not see the whole grandma video. I'm not going to go over what she was saying that you've seen, but a lot of things that you did not see was her yelling, screaming, saying the F word. She threatened that she was going to boycott in front of the center, holding signs out. That
Okay,
she should. Everybody knew not to come here. She was saying that we were trying to make boys into girls, which is not true by any means.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely true, bitch. Ooh, let me stop. Let me stop.
So the mom absolutely was not at work. The mother was here in the lobby and chose to let the grandma handle her situation by yelling at us.
And I'm an hour away, trying to,
here.
Worried about my staff, trying to protect my staff. And she said, why don't you come up here? And I said, well, I'm an hour away. And when it turned ugly, and I could have said, you're being very mean, you're being very rude, you need to leave, you're bullying my staff. Instead, the word asshole came out of my mouth, and I didn't say call her that. I said you are being an asshole and you need to leave, because I was panicking and furious that she was just continuing to yell and go on when we were trying to handle the situation. That's when I called the cops. She called the cops. We were able to file a report against them. They were not able to file a report against us because we didn't do anything. How do you say, like,
criminal?
yeah,
Like,
and the cops said it wasn't a criminal offense, but they were not leaving our facility. We had kids in care, we had staff here, and it was scary for everyone. And I'm on the phone, not very loud, as they are yelling inside the center. So it was way blown out of proportion. If she would have just said, can we talk over the phone? Because she could call me elsewhere, we could meet in person. But to behave this way in the lobby was.
So again, like as they were in the lobby, they called the cops. We called the cops. I asked them very nicely. I said, "Could you please wait outside?" I knew that they were waiting for the cops. I understood that. We were also waiting, but I did have kids in care. I had staff. I had kids that were scared and traumatized because they could hear the yelling. So I asked them, "Could you please wait outside?" They said no, very aggressively, very hostile. They would not go outside. They were waiting in here. They were pacing. They were taking pictures of stuff. Just making us very uncomfortable as we were being very respectful in here. The owner was pissed at the staff until the grandmother started yelling,
Harassing
and harassing and stuff. When the cops came, it was the same thing. We had a staff member outside that they didn't know was out there, that was leaving, and heard them telling the cops that they wanted us arrested. The cops even agreed, like there was nothing to arrest us for. We did no criminal, nothing.
If you look
criminal.
at all the Google reviews we've always had, great photos we've posted. The kids have a great time. Nobody's ever been harmed. I personally opened daycare. I've been in 18 years ago, left my career because my daughter had a bruise on her arm. And I was, of course, furious and decided that I wanted to change my career and open a daycare because I needed to work. And I understand fully from a parent's point of view how upset they would be. And all we could do was deal with the staff, offer them a refund, which is what the cops wanted us to do, to resolve. They said, what can you do to resolve? And I said, well, I guess a refund. We could take the nail polish off. I mean, I'm also going to bed here, getting ready for a funeral the next day of a boy that grew up in my daycare, and he just turned 20. And I'm sitting here thinking,
don't nobody care about that little sad sap story she's trying to tell. I don't have time for it. I've heard enough. Okay. And I'm sure you all have too. I have heard enough. Okay. Y'all remember when Soho Karen told Gail King it was enough? Enough. That's how I feel about her. This long arse video trying to mail explain. This video is literally 16 minutes and 39 seconds. Girl, if you think I'm finna sit here and listen to two lion arse Karens go on and on telling sad sap stories as if we're supposed to give a darn. Okay? The lady should boycott your daycare. Honey, I'm going to be calling y'all artists on Monday. You can rest assured, okay? And I'm either going to record the conversation or I'm going to call them right on live, okay? And I'm going in. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Now let's see what the people in the streets got to say about all this, okay? Giving this long, drawn-out, darn near 20-minute video to tell lies and paint narratives and play the victim. Honey, I'm not trying to hear it. I am not trying to. What I did, I quit my job because my daughter came home with a scratch, and I understand how it feels. And then a boy who died, and it was 20 years old, and he was in my care. Girl, we don't give a darn about any of that. Now you're going too far off the subject. How did we get to this again? Isn't this supposed to be about you all painting a 3-year-old's nails pink? She don't sit down somewhere. Let's see what the streets are talking about, honey, when it pertains to this, because people are living.
From a nursing and parental perspective, there is no universe where it is appropriate to apply any cosmetic change, nail polish, hair dye, anything to a child without parental consent. This isn't about gender. This isn't about aesthetics. This is about consent, boundaries, and the duty of care. In healthcare, touching a patient, even a child, without documented permission can result in assault allegations. In childcare, the same principle applies. The daycare staff crossed a clear line when they painted a 3-year-old boy's nails pink without the parents' knowledge. But then they doubled down when the grandmother showed up, not only refusing to explain, but yelling at her and later painting themselves as victims in their own video response. That is not how accountability works. If a concerned parent or grandparent asks what happened, the professional response is to de-escalate, apologize, and show humility, not hostility. And then publicly turning the situation around to make yourself the victim, that's PR malpractice, honey. So this isn't cancel culture, it's consequence culture. Parents trust you with their kids, not to make cosmetic decisions, but to keep them safe and respect boundaries. Any provider, daycare, or even healthcare who can't grasp that should not be in this line of work. So let me be very clear. If this happened in a pediatric clinic, we'd be facing potential board review. So why should daycares be held to a lower standard? Consent is not optional. Accountability is not persecution. And yelling at a grandmother, asking a valid question, that alone should tell you this daycare is unfit.
Okay, absolutely. No lies detected. They are absolutely unfit, honey. Everybody that has a problem with stuff like that should cease to send their children there as far as I'm concerned, okay? They need to have a seat. Moving right along.
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Madison.
Madison. Can I speak to your director, please?
Yes, she's in the restroom.
What's your name? You're the director. You do not.
But I do not want you guys coming.
Some people may think it is. She said it's not about color, it's about boundaries. Who the heck did she think she was talking to somebody like that? So a parent recently posted a video on TikTok saying that her 3-year-old son came home from daycare with his nails painted pink. And of course, that was without parental consent. They didn't call, text, nada. She stated in the video, and I believe she's absolutely correct, but she said, as a parent, we have the right to decide what's done to our children, no matter how small some people may think it is. She said, it's not about color, it's about boundaries and respect. She also questioned what else the daycare workers might do without the knowledge of parents if they don't think twice about painting her son's nails pink. And I mean, she's pretty right to me. So the little boy's grandmother evidently went up to the daycare to complain, and rightfully so, in my opinion. And I mean, I think to begin with, the grandmother handled it pretty well. Now, I don't think it's against the law, like the grandmother mentioned, confusion of a child, but I would definitely say it should be against rules, ethics, guidelines, and whatnot of a daycare to do something like this. I also don't think it's against the law to paint a child's fingernails without consent, but anyway. Okay, so here's my thing. Why are they painting nails anyway, male or female, at daycare? No, it doesn't hurt them, but I've just really never heard of daycares doing that. The grandmother started off, in my opinion, patient and respectful. I mean, she was angry, yes, but she had a right to be. But the owner of the daycare immediately disrespected her and went after her instead of calmly trying to make the situation right. I mean, she did try to say, well, we'll take the fingernail polish off, but she was not professional at all and was rude as they come. She said a lot of parents don't care. Well, how do you know? Because you obviously don't ask them if they care. It doesn't sound like you get their consent to do this. Now, y'all, I know that there are bigger things in our world to worry about, but I did think that this was crazy. And it does go to show you how some daycares operate without even considering the parents. And the owner then called the grandma an asshole. Has she heard herself speak? And then she said this woman was attacking her staff. She didn't come in that daycare attacking anyone, at least that I saw. And for the record, I'm not sure what daycare this is, the name of it, nor do I even know what state that the daycare is in. But if I find out, I'll be sure to let y'all know. Anyway, I thought this was wild. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
It is wild, honey. That lady needs to sit down somewhere. And I absolutely cannot.
Shelly, the daycare owner that owns Adventure Daycare, which is the place that painted a 3-year-old little boy's nails pink. And when the grandmother came in to confront them, the manager called Shelly, the owner, on speaker, and Shelly berated the grandmother. And then Shelly came on Tickety Talk to make an apology, and her apology was more like playing the victim card. And she said that because she gives her a discount, you know, she's allowed to paint a little boy's nails pink to confuse him about the gender roles in society. Boys do not wear nail polish. I don't care what you say. I will die on that hill. Little boys should never wear nail polish. That's ridiculous. Okay? You don't get to confuse a child's gender. Some people would like to raise masculine men. Shelly, you are wrong, Shelly. You should make another video.
No, she don't want to make another one, honey, because trust me, nobody wants to hear her. Okay, so now that all been said, let's go to this last video. Now this one right here was all for it. Ha! Hold on. This one was all for it. Hold on. This dude says nothing wrong with them painting their nails. They're just doing too much and making too much of a big deal about something so petty. Pretty much that's what he said. I'm paraphrasing.
You're a business owner? You're a business owner.
I'm not understanding why you found a problem with your 3-year-old child getting his nails painted when that child probably felt so super excited to feel involved and included in that. It was probably something that they were doing off on the other side. He saw it. He got intrigued and probably wanted to do it. I mean, why are we getting our feathers in a ruffle? For the parents and the grandparents to sit here and go all the way over the top for no reason. You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Let me stop him right there. Let me stop him right there. Okay. Now he may not see a problem with it because he wears nail polish. Okay. But sir, because you choose to wear nail polish, you're an adult. Okay. You choose to wear nail polish or whatever else you do. You have a choice because you're an adult. That little 3-year-old he's not able to give consent. He's not able to make choices. Okay. So with that all being said, please sit down somewhere. And here's another thing. He's acting like this is no big deal. They're getting their feathers all in a bunch. I guarantee you this, the job that he works, let's talk about it. The job where he works, wherever that may be, I'm sure that if he came to work one day with his nails all painted and they said to him, you cannot come here wearing nail polish. Go take that off or go home for the day. He would be filing a lawsuit. Okay, he would be filing a lawsuit for discrimination. Sir, sit down somewhere. Okay, sit down somewhere. Don't sit here and say, oh, they're getting their feathers in a bunch. Oh, they're just making mountains out of molehills. Sir, you would be having the same argument in reverse. If at your job, anybody told you that you could not come with your nails painted, because I'm sure you paint your nails. And with that all being said, okay, you would be raising more hell than she even did. All right, I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention because he doesn't mind because he wears nail polish. And that's okay that he wears it. But again, he's an adult. He makes the choice for himself. That little boy doesn't. Okay? That little boy doesn't, and nor did they ask consent from the people in his life who could have given the permission. So he needs to sit down somewhere. I guarantee you, let him go to work tomorrow. Let him go to work tomorrow with some makeup on, lipstick, or some fingernail polish or whatever. And then they tell him, oh, I'm sorry, you can't wear that. That's a distraction. You need to go take that off. Okay, we'll just keep it at the nail polish for now. So they told him he couldn't paint his nails, go take it off. You think he'd be saying, oh, this is not even that serious. I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill. I'm not even going to get my feathers in a bunch. Of course he would. Okay, so he can sit down somewhere is all I'm saying. But let's continue because he's cooking. So he thinks.
There's no reason for it. Let that 3-year-old baby live his 3-year-old baby life. Now, you know damn good and well that when that child is 10, 12 years old, he's not going to fucking remember that he was having his nails painted. You calm the fuck on. You're not understanding or taking into consideration.
Look, I didn't even notice this. He literally does have his nails done. Okay, sir, sit down somewhere. And then he's saying he's 3 or 4 years old. He's not even going to remember. How many of you, once in the chat, how many of you remember things that happened when you were 3 or 4 years old? Because I do. Once in the chat, if you all remember things that happened when you were 3 or 4 years old. Say what now? He's talking about he's not going to remember because he's only 3 or 4. Sir, plenty of people remember things that happened when they were 3 and 4 years old. I know I do. Okay. Yeah. Aqua Girl Rising said neon green. Okay. Thank you. So some of y'all put ones. Exactly. So what's he talking about? Okay, he needs to sit down somewhere, honey. I'm sorry. He absolutely just may remember. And that's not even the point. If whether or not he's going to remember or not, I'm sure his parents, specifically his father, doesn't want people seeing his little son with pink nails. Okay? I'm sure they have a problem with it. Doesn't matter if the little kid's going to remember it or not. That's not the point. But let's let him cook.
A 3-year-old's memory. Take that into consideration. Also, to cuss and yell and berate that business is just downright uncalled for.
Didn't the business owner, in fact, curse at her first and call her an a-hole? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did.
Because your feelings were hurt because it crossed your moral boundaries. It's fucked up. Because guess what? It's just nail polish. Get over it. There's a lot of straight men in this world that have their nails fucking painted.
The key word is straight men. Men. That means they're adults. Okay, that means they made the choice for themselves again. But let's let him continue.
Whether it be pink, blue, purple, chameleon, rainbow, whatever the fuck. And it's really, really sad that you would automatically just flip the fuck out over some goddamn nail polish. Instead of trying to micromanage and freaking control everything in your child's life, how about you live a little bit of a life? Enjoy fucking life instead of bitching and complaining and moaning and groaning that a fucking worker at a daycare painted your son's nails pink.
I want you all to pay attention. He said, instead of bitching and moaning, I want you all to pay attention. Why is he so upset? Why is he so upset? He's very angry. Do y'all see that? You see how he's talking and cursing and being so overly dramatic and all of that, but at the same time, telling her she basically was putting 20 on 10. Okay. But why is he upset again? Because that's not his child. So why is he so upset? Okay. Why is he so angry about this? Ask yourselves, why is he so damn mad? Okay, but he thinks that she doesn't have a right to be. Isn't that ironic? He literally doesn't think that the grandmother has a right to be upset, but he's upset because she was upset. But why? I find it all interesting. But let's let him continue.
And it's not illegal, you fucking idiot. If you're going to try and catch someone doing something illegal, make sure you do your research before you call and say, that's illegal. Because it's not. It didn't harm him in any way. It didn't violate him in any way. So, again, mountain out of a molehill. Now, I don't have children, so maybe this opinion for me is irrelevant. But I have about 12 friends who have babies, boy babies, around the same age. They didn't fucking care. It's nail polish. It's wash offable. No harm. No foul. But to be pissed off at this company and this business, ma'am, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You guys are in the wrong. Because look at you forcing that baby, although he's 3 years old, to conform to what you want and what you like.
Now you see how he flipped that? Do y'all see how he flipped that? He said, look at you. Y'all are in the wrong. Forcing that baby, even though he's 3 years old, to conform to what you are and what you like. Aren't they the parents and the grandparents? Isn't that the child that they all have custody of? Do y'all hear him? Sorry, but I could have sworn that's what the daycare was doing. Oh, honey, he is out of his mind, delusional.
Not what's in the best interest of that baby. Do you think calling this company and ridiculing them and cussing them out and making them feel like shit is gonna get you anything? Wow, it got you some views. Next time, instead of going on social media and trashing a business, how about you just suck it the fuck up? Because the baby's 3 years old again, and just live life. And go touch a tree. Go literally touch a fucking tree.
I do really feel that you handled this completely wrong. I think that you should do some research and actually look into other straight couples or other straight males that get their nails painted, because I think that it would definitely enlighten you. I think you should do some research. Yeah. But until then, continue rage baiting people. Okay?
This sounds so ignorant. This man's delusional. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. I wonder what trailer park he's at right now. Okay, because he was clearly in the trailer park. Y'all know that, right? And then, Michelle, how dare you? Said, go sit down, Liberace. Honey, I happen to used to love Liberace at the end of the day. And Liberace could never. Okay? Liberace could never. Okay? He wishes. Okay, on his best day, Liberace's works. He's no comparison. But this is all hilarious. Okay, do y'all hear this fool? And then he said, rage baiting. D-Major Skellis. D-Major Skellis said, leave Liberace alone. I know that's right, honey. You did not compare that clown right there to Liberace, and I am so done. I remember when I was a little girl, I thought his name was Liberus. I thought his name was Liberus. Child, I know you did. That man was hilarious. Hold on. Hold on. I absolutely cannot. Moving right along to the next topic of discussion. We're going to make this brief because y'all know today is True Crime Sundays, and I have to come back. And I have to come back at about 6:30. And so with that all being said, honey, I am just done. Okay? I am absolutely done. All that stuff he said was a whole bunch of nothing. All that stuff. And then did y'all see the background where he was sitting in front of, honey? I hope it was a green screen. And that's not really where you actually dwell, sir, while you sitting here trying to go in on somebody about how they feel about their own grandchild. Make it all make sense. Okay? Honey, this is Liberace right here for those of y'all who missed it, honey. Honey, he wishes he was that fabulous. Okay? He wishes he was that fabulous sitting up there looking crazy. Anyway, let's continue because I'm done. I'm absolutely done. Now, before I roll out of here, I just got some sad news. I saw it pop up. I got a notification that the lovely Miss Universe has died at the age of 30. Did y'all hear about that? This literally just popped up. Hold on. This is sad. Former Miss Universe, I'm sorry, she was contestant. Former Miss Universe contestant, 30 years old, dies after elk smashed through her windshield. Do y'all hear this? Everything was covered in blood. Oh my Lord. This is absolutely a freak accident. Y'all hear this? Beautiful young lady. Lord have mercy. May her family, I send my condolences, prayers and condolences to her family, friends, and loved ones. Beautiful young lady. That is so sad. So let's talk about what happened. An elk smashed through her windshield. Ksenia Alexandrova married her husband just several months prior to the fatal accident. So they say a model and former beauty queen has died weeks after an elk smashed through her windshield in a freak accident. She was 30 years old. Ksenia Alexandrova sustained severe brain injuries from the incident, which occurred in July while she was driving to Tver Oblast, Russia. She later died in the hospital due to complications from her injuries on August the 12th, according to Russian sources. Okay, her husband and her had been driving home on July the 5th when their car collided with the elk. She sat in the passenger seat while the husband was driving when the animal suddenly jumped onto the road. They say from the moment it jumped out to the impact, a split second passed. I didn't have time to do anything. This is what the husband said. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for him because can you imagine how traumatizing that was? He recalled that his wife was unconscious after the impact, adding that everything was covered in blood. The husband additionally told Rosicoia Gazeta that other drivers stopped to help and that emergency services arrived on the scene within 15 minutes. She was transported to a hospital in Moscow, but her injuries ultimately proved to be fatal. She had been married to her husband 4 months before the accident. This is all so sad, honey. Ugh. Anyway, with that all being said, again, prayers and condolences to her family, friends, and loved ones. I hate to hear stuff like that. Oh, let me tell y'all something. That's absolutely a freak accident. But let me tell you something. I remember my best friend. That's her and her husband. Definitely prayers for him. That is awful to hear. But I have my friend is from Sparta, Georgia, and she was telling me that one of her cousins, I believe it was driving through Sparta and a huge deer, okay, a male deer just ran out to the road. She hit it and it just landed on top of the car and the antlers went through the windshield and stabbed him in the chest. Ooh, how did y'all hear that? That is crazy. That literally to me sounds like something that would happen in the movie Final Destination. Okay? That sounds like something from Final Destination. Songwriter Sonny said that elk was probably on that Epstein list. Now, Songwriter Sonny, this is not a laughing moment. I am not going to even crack a smile. Okay? This is tragic. The husband is devastated. Yes, just imagine seeing that. And I hope he doesn't blame himself, but Lord knows he probably does. Okay, he probably does. Before we roll out of here, you guys, let's talk about Candace Owens, or shall I say Candace Owens? Okay, because y'all know she's getting sued, right? Y'all know she's getting sued for sitting there talking about, yeah, that deer was a buck. It was, honey. It was a, let me tell y'all something. Speaking of bucks, this is no cap. My grandfather on my mother's side, honey, he used to go hunting all the time. And he would catch deer and all of that. And so anyway, I would never forget. One summer I was going to visit them and they had come and gotten me from Kentucky and we were driving down, to their home in Georgia or whatever. And so honey, as we're driving down a 2-lane highway, right? It's really no traffic at this point. But my grandfather sees a buck on the side of the road. He pulls that car over and gets out with a knife. And my grandma's like, what are you about to do? And he was like, I'm going to catch dinner. Not going to catch dinner, Grandpa, really? Leave Bambi's father alone. So my grandfather goes, I can't make this up. He goes down the little embankment and he's creeping up on the deer. It turns and I guess it sees him or senses him or whatever, and it starts to run. But right as it starts to run, my grandfather grabs it. He starts running and jumps on it, like basically grabs the antlers and twists its neck and killed it. And then dragged that big thing all the way back up that embankment to the car and put it on the hood, honey, tied it down and took it home. I kid you not. And then had the audacity to tell me to come out there so he can show me how you clean a deer. Mind you, I'm 12. Okay? Mind you, I'm 12. And he hangs it from something in the backyard upside down and cuts it from here all the way down, honey. And all the stuff on it was all nasty. I was on the phone. Mom, can y'all come get me, please? I know I just got here, but I was on the phone to my mom and stepdad. Can you all please come get me real quick? Woo, honey, that was a bit much. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, Pretty Wing said Grandpa ate good that day, didn't he though? Honey, deer steaks and all. Okay? He just said old school, used to living off the land. Okay? But I wouldn't. All right? No, I wouldn't. All right? Please pay attention on it. Anyway. Yeah, right. It said granddaddy is a man's man. Okay, that he was, honey. That he was. June. That's what they call him. All right. So anyway, with that all been said, let's get back on Candace, honey, because she is going down for the counts, and now she's trying to act like she's all broken, busted. Now we already know she can't be trusted, but honey, it's all going real bad for Candace, real quick. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention. Hold on. Oh my God. You know what I didn't do? I'm gonna have to play the audio because I had the audio, right? Hold on. Let me see where I have it. I forgot to upload the video, but I'm gonna let y'all hear it though. Because Candace, hold on, I think it's in this phone. So let's talk about it because she has been saying that the French Macron, she's been saying that his wife is a man. Now, she doesn't have any proof or receipts, but she has stood 10 toes down. She did like an 8 series segment about it, and she's been making her little money on this, and she sat up there and gotten some of this information from the French journalist, supposedly. And just days ago, they said that in fact Macron had hired a private investigator, okay, to go and get dirt on Candace. So let's get into it. Candace Owens loses it over Trump's silence on Macron lawsuit. That's another thing. She's mad because Trump's not defending her. Girl, why would you think Trump's going to do anything for you? I guess she feels like because she was previously a Trump loyalist that he would have her back when it pertains to her freedom of free speech. But it's not happening, okay? It is absolutely not happening. Now, y'all hold on for just 1 second, honey. I'm about to burn up. I don't know what's going on. Let me go cut the AC up real quick before I pass out on this live. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Ooh, honey, it was getting a little too hot up in here, honey. I'm sitting here sweating like ninjas going to the election in Georgia. All right. And so anyway, let's talk about it, honey, because I know why she thought Trump was going to have her back, honey. It's all hilarious to me. Okay, so anyway, far-right commentator Candace Owens thinks President Trump and J.D. Vance should be rushing in to defend her as French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte sue her for defamation. Owens has been running a months-long harassment campaign or transvestigation against Brigitte, claiming she was born a biological man. Here's my thing. Even if she was born a biological man, Candace, why do you care? Why is that even your business? Okay, why do you care? Okay, that's what I would like to know. That don't have anything to do with you. Now, the Macron's lawsuit filed in Delaware alleges that Owens has sued or has used this false statement to promote her independent platform, gain notoriety, and make money. Of course she has. This includes Candace Owens' podcast and her 8-part YouTube series on Brigitte's gender, titled Becoming Brigitte. Oh, honey, you're going to see what's coming. Brigitte going to be coming for those pockets. Okay? Now, after looking into this is what Candace says. After looking into this, I would stake my entire professional reputation on the fact that Brigitte Macron is, in fact, a man. This is what she posted on X, March of 2024. Now, as the lawsuit approaches, Candace is grasping at straws and begging for help to no avail. Okay, she even went as far as to reveal that Trump called her on the phone to tell her to drop the transgender allegations. Okay? You have a literal European leader that is basically saying F you to the American Constitution, right? No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying F you to Candace Owens for telling lies. Or even if it's not lies, it's something you still can't prove. Do you have that woman's birth certificate? But let me continue. Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte are saying, you know what? We don't like that podcaster in America. And we're going to launch a lawsuit that's never been launched before. An unprecedented lawsuit to impoverish her from speaking. This is what Candace opined. And both J.D. Vance and Trump have not issued a statement. And why should they again? Honey, they're too busy trying to take over D.C. So, in fact, I'm going to play a clip of this fool. I'm going to play a clip of this nonsensical idiot by the name of Candace, no less. Okay? Candace is a whole fool. Like, girl, leave that lady and her husband alone. Like, why do you even care? Why are you so obsessed with them? I mean, she's been on this campaign for quite some time at this point. I'm just trying to figure out why. Hold on, let me put an overlay over this, honey. I don't want her trying to hit me with a copyright claim. I need all my coins.
Now, the Trump administration, who purports to care about free speech, that was what they ran on. Of course, they're not doing any of that stuff anymore. They're creating DEI for Israel and pushing through laws to redefine anti-Semitism. But they pretended to care about free speech. And you had JD Vance, who went over there to Europe and gave a whole speech, tisk tisk, to all of you European leaders that are no longer listening to what your constituents want and are instead punishing them for their speech. If the majority of your constituents think something, you can't create laws and punish them. Like, right? That was kind of the gist of his speech. Like, the markets have decided what they want, and now you're punishing these people. That's crazy, he said. America's going to be a leader. We don't believe in this. We won't support this. Then you have a literal European leader that is basically saying F you to the American Constitution, right? Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte are saying, you know what? We don't like that podcaster in America. And we are going to launch a lawsuit that's never been launched before, an unprecedented lawsuit to impoverish her for speaking. And both JD Vance and Trump have not issued a statement. In fact, where are the journalists even asking them to make a statement? Okay, a state leader is speaking about your constituent and launching a lawsuit and saying you're going to impoverish them for executing their First Amendment right. Where are you? If you are Trump, the first thing you should have done, if you purport to care about America and our Constitution, as you're supposed to be the person that's defending that day in and day out, you would come out and you would say, I don't even know whether I believe that she's a man or woman. Doesn't matter, right? I didn't watch the series. Fair. He didn't watch the series. He could even say, like he said to me on the phone, that I looked at her real close on the Eiffel Tower and it looked like a woman to me. Okay, you can say all those things, but you should say it's unacceptable. I'm a leader of this country. It is unacceptable that this leader would threaten the First Amendment in any way. We don't need Pam Bondi rushing to issue a statement about a college male that's been shoved by a student for wearing an IDF shirt, okay? We don't need the federal government getting involved on something so meaningless. But we might need our federal government when it comes to this, okay? The job of the federal government is to defend us against foreign invaders. And I would pretty much say Emmanuel Macron right now is being a foreign invader. But no, they're silent. They are silent. And that's a pretty loud silence right now. Because like, if I remove myself out of the situation, it is crazy that Trump has been silent on this matter, especially after Emmanuel Macron flew and tried to get Trump to shut me up. He knows what Emmanuel Macron is doing and how desperate he is to do it. So why is he allowing this attack on our speech? It's crazy.
The only one crazy is you, Candace, at the end of the day, especially if you thought that Trump was going to defend you. Like, she's such an idiot. And here's the thing. I really enjoy how she's painting this whole narrative by saying that this is an attack on free speech and the Constitution. No, it isn't. It's an attack on you for lies told, allegedly. Okay, that's what it's an attack on. She's trying to paint this narrative like they're coming after all of our rights or something. Girl, you should not be talking about. And here's the thing. She likely thought she was going to be able to successfully get away with this bullshit because she probably felt like, okay, they're, not even from this country. And so probably felt like she could just say whatever she wanted, will, or may, and nothing's going to be done. But oh no, honey, they came over here. That's what they did. They came right on over here and filed that lawsuit. Okay, I think they filed it in Delaware. Wherever she lives, that's where they filed it. Okay, so now I want you all to hear what Piers Morgan had to say to her about it, which is interesting to me because Piers Morgan loves him some mess and some drama. But even he said something to her about it, okay? Because, girl, you can't prove any of it, whether you think it's true or not. So I'm going to play the audio from Piers and Candace. I forgot to upload the video, so we'll just listen to the audio. Likes of everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
So aggressively. One, you've been duped by these French journalists. And secondly, worse, that you kind of know it's not true, but you've ridden the wave of conspiracy theory about it because it's been so lucrative and it's gone around the world, like you've been saying. And I think that is why they're suing you, because ultimately they know that you've been amplifying this massively more than the journalists had in France, getting way more global traction. And it boils down to one simple fact, not photographs, as you keep trying to distract me with, but a sex test. If on day one of this case, she just produces an actual sex test report that says she's a woman, you're going to realize in that moment you've been completely duped. What do you do then?
Appears I'm not concerned about it because, like I said, it's been about 10 years and she could have done that at any moment. She's been in multiple lawsuits, involved in lawsuits, trying to shut journalists up.
Now, the word is so aggressively.
Now I want y'all to pay attention. I want you all to pay attention. Now she's sitting up here. She's sitting up here saying that the woman could have been done it. Well, here's the thing. She's doing it now. Okay, she's definitely doing it now, Candace, and likely because you've been going at her so hard in the paint. Done an 8-part series, and I know she made a whole bunch of money off of it on her YouTube podcast. Okay, and that's like Pierce Morgan said, lucrative, because she's made a lot of money off of it. See, here's the thing with people who tell lies on people, because, and like I said, maybe it isn't a lie. I don't know, but whether it's a lie or not, how's she gonna prove it? How's she gonna prove it? Okay, that's what I'd like to know. How is she going to prove what she is alleging? Does she have a copy of this woman's birth certificate? Does she have pictures of her as a child when she looked like a boy? I just have questions. Okay. And secondly, like I said, again, why is she so concerned about it? But here's the thing. So now Candace is actually saying that she's broke. She's basically alleging that she has no money. She's trying to pull a Tasha K, because if you all remember, like I just said the other day, jokingly, remember when Tasha K, I told y'all how Tasha K said, I'm going to be real with y'all. I ain't got it. Ha! When Cardi B sued her for the $4 million, okay, that's Candace now, trying to act like she doesn't have the money, and now she's going to have to resort to selling T-shirts. Okay, that's what she's now trying to sell, these little ugly arse T-shirts, begging people to buy them. Okay, so she can come up with the coins, but at the same time, acting as though she's confident that she's going to win the lawsuit. But then she goes back to saying that it's going to cost millions for the lawsuit. Well, girl, maybe you should have thought about that before you said what you said. But here's the thing. Candace, don't try to cry broke. Okay, I'm going to show you all her coins in just a minute. So they say this is a real hit dog hollering moment. Okay, Owens claims for months that the First Lady of France is a biological male, based on a significant portion of her $1 million podcast content on that baseless lie, and is now crying for the president to save her while the Macrons gear up to sue the hell out of her, and rightfully so. Oh, it is rightfully so. Okay, it is rightfully so. I mean, like I said, she's been going in on this woman harder than the French journalist. Okay, because they have better sense than to do this because they don't want to get sued. But here's some of her coins, all right? And shout out to Reese Waters, who posted these receipts, because I got it from him. Y'all see this? This is her real estate portfolio. Now, she's saying that the lawsuit is going to cost her millions of dollars or whatever, and she doesn't have it. Well, you better come up with it. Candace Owens' real estate portfolio, Malibu estate, 7,200 square feet, worth $5.5 million. Colorado farm, 8,000 square feet, $3.2 million. Nashville home with 6 bedrooms, $8 million. Austin mansion, 5 bedrooms, $7 million. Stanford home, 5,700 square feet, $6 million. Okay, I mean, it sounds like she's got money to me, but you're not going to have it in a minute if you lose this lawsuit. Miami commercial property, $2.7 million, and Nebraska farmland, 90 acres, $1.8 million. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but if Candace told lies on me and defamed my name, I would be suing her too. I would be suing her too. So you have to be careful of what you're saying. Okay. It's okay to use words like alleged, okay, unsubstantiated, speculation, and in my opinion. It's okay to use those words. Okay. But when you come out here and promote opinions as facts, and then you further stand 10 toes down on it, you open yourself to all type of litigation and liabilities. And in my opinion, for lies told, that's exactly what you deserve. Okay, that's exactly what people deserve for telling lies on folk. All right, so anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Okay, don't forget to tune back in at 6:30 for True Crime Sundays. And until then, beloveds, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
With that soul all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy.
Real slick.
I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got